Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry I haven't been with y'all for a minute. Understandably enough, um, I have been going through some mental things, which brought Jaguar Wright to mind again because of the ongoing effort to discredit Jaguar Wright. You know, I mentioned this the other day and I said, yo, I was surprised to find out that my friend had passed away. I was really surprised. I was really taken by that. Um, in all respects and measures, she was young. And so I started thinking of that, and then I started thinking of Jaguar Wright because I just got into the space. And so, I don't know, just like clockwork, I swear to you, all of a sudden, all these things started coming up with Tasha K and Jaguar Wright. So I started doing more and more and more research. And I started seeing, I was like, wow, this Tasha K. And see, I'm linking it to myself because Storm and Roll, him and I had a little spout or whatever, from, I guess, a viewer had went over and said something when I first initially started. So I later found out that Storm Monroe has now separated himself from her about 2 months ago. So I'm like, wow, this is a toxic woman. Hey, Prince Dio, what's going on, brother? Salute. So I'm like, wow, this is a toxic woman, huh? So I'm doing this as research. I'm just trying to figure out, where she actually exists in the pedestal, but more so how she's set up. Jaguar. See, I didn't know it was in that depth. I know something went afoul. I know something went wrong. Peace. What's up, Bobby BK? I knew something went wrong there, whatever, and I saw for the most part it wasn't a good idea to even, like I had said it already. I said I don't think it's a good idea to do this specific interview with her. Hey, Tawanda Ingram, what's going on? Hello. I said I just don't think it's a good idea. And just like clockwork, and this is why I said myself when I first started, I chose not. If anybody's been with me that long, they know I chose not to do interviews. I got offered $2,000 from someone and a couple other people, and this is why me and Storm Monroe myself had our interaction because of the same thing. Lanny S, what's going on? Salute, how you guys doing? And so I was like, wow, something here is not right. We got a woman who's clearly got some mental issues herself, her being Tasha K, saying that another woman who has just dropped in the media for many reasons, thank you, Chris Dior, for many reasons, has now pointing the finger at said woman that has a story that she wanted to interview. But it would have even made a little bit more sense if she was just being infamous or notorious or insidious, as some would say. No, 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 no. I came across a video that Tasha K had, and it was a quick little clip, and I don't know if it was from her IG, maybe some social media, whatever. It definitely wasn't for YouTube. I could tell by the video format it was set up. It definitely wasn't for YouTube. And in the video, she says, Jaguar, thanks. Hey, Reese, how you doing? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to talk some more about that in a little while, and how this all ties in. And so I listened to the video clip, and in the video clip, actually, what happens and what's said is, ha ha ha. She says it's real insidious. Ha ha ha. She thinks that I'm gonna do this and that. Da, 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 da. Wait till she see the interview. Ha ha ha. It was like she almost intentionally knew this is what she was going to do. I had a young lady that came on my page the other day, and I didn't block that young lady anything. I just removed her comment because she had said I put up a clip of Jaguar, whatever. And I like to put up Jaguar's material. And I don't like to put up anything with interviews from other people or things like that. I have never reached out to Jaguar, which I think me and Jaguar have a lot in common based on the fact that I come up when she comes up. We have not had any interaction as far as that. And I think, honestly and truthfully, Tasha K would have did this to anybody that she felt of stature. I found out the lawsuit she has going on for her, including one from Cardi B, which I did not know that. I believe it's a defamation lawsuit, which is a civil lawsuit. I heard there's several other musicians that are considering pressing and going with lawsuits against this woman. And I'm like, this woman was making a substantial amount of money off you guys, donations and stuff like that, which I am not going to hesitate to mention mine Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Thank you very much. Um, she was making a substantial amount of money, and I guess for the thrills, based on her view count level, I guess, hey, Lus, '07 Melanie Kiss, much love, David. Stay strong, brother. Love your combo. Thank you very much. I guess just based off her trajectory, she's always been this mean. Like, I heard she has a husband. There was this 2 weeks ago, there was some talk about her husband possibly cheating on her, something like that. Come to find out, she made a video and tried to denounce that. And she said, no, my husband would never cheat on me. Da, da, da. But I could just imagine the way I see her on camera and the many subs that were removed from Tasha K. I could see it with Storm Monroe, who I later end up interacting with. He leaves her. I could see with all these people that are in her pathway, they leave her for a reason. And I think it's because she's just plain old a nasty woman. That's what I could gather. I think with or without a camera, this is just a mean, insidious, power-hungry woman. And she will do anything in her power to take someone down in her pathway. And that means no matter where you are in life, if it was as simple as the next in line for the bathroom, this is a woman that is so competitive that she will stoop down to that point right there even. So I don't know what the point is of Tasha K, but it actually, I guess, worked against her. I heard she lost thousands and thousands of people as subscribers because of this antic. And you have to think this was all preordained by her. It was all preordained by her, herself. Landing else. I used to watch her videos, but I stopped. The way she came at Jaguar was not right. No, it was a setup. See, I've done press runs at Virgin Megastore, press runs at Tower Records, press runs at radio stations, press runs all across the country. Yeah, I mean, I put up the pictures of myself. I worked at 3 different labels, you know. And even in this little rest that I'm taking right now because of this COVID crap or whatever, I still know how New York City runs. And one thing I know about New York City is the way media runs and media is interjected. YouTube has some of their headquarters in New York City. Now they're having their workers work remote. Google has their offices in New York City, so they're now having their workers work remote. Yahoo has their offices in New York City, and now they're having their... Do you understand what I'm saying? We're a multimedia conference. I used to work for the ex-national marketing director, you know? So what I'm trying to tell you is, however she projected and she sat down, she should have known at some point or some time going after this woman's right now was not the best thing. She had not an ounce of compassion, absolutely none. And that's what I want to talk about. Exactly. That's where my segue was going. She had no compassion. No, I'm not at the airport. I wish I was at the airport. I ain't raised enough funds yet to get to the airport, but I'm getting to the airport. And I'm going to mention that a little bit too. So guys, if you like $STRINGERBELL80, please somebody write that in the thing, or you can go to what's the name, the description box, and it's in there. Please do not donate to PayPal. Those guys are rip-off artists. Guys, I will tell you like this. Tasha K and many people like Tasha K is just on the internet right now, especially on YouTube and the YouTube space. And that's exactly what I meant. It seems most of these women that are doing these vlogs, and I'm not saying all of them because it's absolutely not all of them, because I share some of these good women. What's going on, Sheila? I share some of these good women. Christio, what's going on? I share some of these good women that are on YouTube on my page in the community section, so you can check that out. So it's nothing about gender. Oh, no. It's just more so what I'm seeing out of a lot of the women that are on YouTube is they have this kind of like salacious approach. And the men too. Storm Monroe, I can't say is any more different from Tasha K than Tasha K is different from Storm Monroe. I mean, that's his, you know, in many ways, she reminds me of how, see, I'm old enough to remember. She reminds me of how Wendy Williams used to be. What's going on, Sean Caprina? She reminds me, I'm glad you said that. I was trying to get on your PayPal link. Oh yeah, the PayPal link stinks, man. I'll tell you guys about that later, but preferably, just do the PayPal, the GoFundMe link is the one I was telling you guys about. Don't mess with the GoFundMe. The PayPal or the Cash App, those are the two. Mess with those two. PayPal or Cash App. Do not do the GoFundMe. It's a oh God, those guys over there. I'll tell you guys about that, I swear. Hey, what's going on, K. Cole? How you doing? Christy O, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sean Caprini, what's going on, bro? All right, this is my main thing that I was saying. For some reason or another, these salacious type women that are on the internet right now, they literally have like formed like Voltron. And everything that they have to say is nasty. It bashes other women. It bashes women. What's going on? Salute. What's up, Marquise? It bashes other women. It bashes the culture. And it's all in reprise in an attempt to do nothing but just bash down people in the culture. And you have no compassion for these people. I've had people, I'm going to use myself personally. I've had people come on my page literally and say the most evil things to me. And then they'll see it right under where somebody else has said something nice. And they'll just say that just to say it. So I can imagine at the magnitude that Jaguar is. And I've viewed her comment section as well. And it's some people on there that are really, 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 really nasty. Like, there were some people making fun of her, saying her and her husband were homeless and all this stuff. And I was just like, I never heard her mention anything like that. You think that's what it is, Christio? Is followers? It's gotta be followers, it's gotta be something, but the psychology behind it is more so what I'm talking about. See, people are doing this type of psychology for some reason. They take it socially and accept it as it's like, you know what I mean? Like a free fall, a battle royale, you know? And no matter how close someone is, it's almost like you want to see the person disposed of or their demise. Yeah, and then the crowd has no brain of their own because they have like this pitchfork mentality. So it's like it's pitchfork mentality online. So basically you have people just like, yo, let's go get this one, or this one's the one to make fun of. And that's why you get Tasha K's that can exist. See? And that's why you can get a Tasha K to thrive. That's why you can get a Tasha K. Oh, I'm not going to just even point out Tasha K. There's many despicable ones. There was this other one on there. What was her name? Cynthia G. Any of y'all know her? Oh God, I watched a couple of her videos. I was like, I wanted to throw up in the very thought of her. You know, she was just disgusting. And then I heard the whole thing behind her. You know, she got pregnant by one of her viewers. Then she's supposed to have had a miscarriage, and you know, it was just a whole drama opera of these girls that are basically on YouTube. But they're not doing anything for the culture. They're not speaking for the culture. If anything, they're demising the culture. And I heard all this beta male talk and a lot of times, a lot of these people that are talking on YouTube, you have to remember and keep an interest. A lot of them are not economists. They don't know the day-to-day dealings with economy. They don't know the day-to-day dealings with job hirings. I've done lives not only in New York, in Manhattan. I've done them in, I think it was one I did in the Bronx, and I did one here not too long ago. And I showed you the totality of what's going on in not only the communities, but the tri-state itself, including Jersey, who I think is hit the most. You'll actually have people in the comment section or multiple people's, you know, stories, because I watch different stories too, just to see, you know, get an eye what's going on. And you'll have people in multitudes of different stories, and they're just talking the worst stuff you've ever heard. Like, ha ha ha, that was broke, da ha ha, this was broke, da 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 da. And you have to ask the question, well, have you ever seen $100,000 in your life? Because if you haven't seen $100,000 at least in your life, one, you don't belong in a conversation with me. Two, who the fuck are you? You know, and that's what you get. You're making these people rich. And I'm just trying to figure out for what reason, what makes them. And don't forget Armand Wiggins. He used to be he made fun of Jaguar's credit card being declined. Yeah, now this guy, I never got to watch his video, but I heard so much about him. Miserable people take pleasures in other people's problems or issues. Well, that seemed to be my issue, you know, and you know, in the past, what is it, 4 weeks here? In the past 4 weeks here, that looks good on you. In the past 4 weeks here, I was just telling this lady, this shit looks good on this. You have to give women compliments when they look nice. In the past 3 weeks here, I literally had 3 people shot across the street from That's not there. And then my friend just died, you know? And I'm just like, damn, I gotta go to New York and see them. And, you know, that's a whole nother story because I gotta raise funds to do that. But Tasha K, Tommy Sotomayor, Boyce Watkins, Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed, this Armand Wiggins motherfucker, Adornment, whatever his name is. Adornment. Adornment Wiggins. He should go by that. It's easier to say. All these guys seemingly don't do anything but regurgitate the same information to you guys and ask for a penny. They don't rarely talk about their own personal lives, and you don't know the debt that they're in or how much, you know what I'm saying, how much a house is costing. I've seen people switch houses, you know what I mean? Like they're literally renting houses off of their YouTube income. And I'm like, damn, I can't even get $7,000 now. You know what I mean? It is. It's funny, Keiko. A woman may walk up to you. What are you going to say to her? A woman may walk up to you. What are you going to say to her? If a woman walked up to me, what am I going to say to her? I'm going to say, hello, how you doing? My name is Davenport. It's nice to meet you. What's your name? That's what I'm going to say. I don't do the whole, hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy you a refrigerator. And you know what, after that, you know, I don't do all that. You know, one, I think I'm at a point where I don't need to do that. Two, I'm not an ugly dude. So I've never really had to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, it is just what it is. Lady S is laughing. Loyalty Sterling, what's going on, Miss Sterling? I know who Loyalty Sterling is. What's going on, mama? Are you late? You late on a lot of things. I got my people, man, that I'm worried about. You know, my friend's passing was very quick. It was sudden. Like I said, she used to be here on the live with us in the community section of my page. You guys just press my what's the name? And can somebody type my my Cash App in, and it's in the description box too, guys. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because I need to go to New York for one, to just go see her daughter and her granddaughter and all that. And I know I'm gonna have to go for the funeral or something. So I'm just, thank you, Prince Dior. I appreciate it. And I don't even know if it's gonna be a funeral, because for Fred's funeral, we literally had links to the YouTube, what the friends did. Because they only let in capacity, I think it was like 20, 30 people or something like that. So we had to, I'm talking about Fred the godson. So we had to literally watch his funeral on YouTube, you know, with a YouTube link. I'm going back to work. Have a great day. Thank you, Sheila Eccles. Prince Dio, no problem, my brother. Appreciate it. But I'm just trying to get to the bottom of that. And why is everybody at the core trying to discredit Jaguar? I think that's why she went mute a little bit. You know, like, she's not really talking about stars. I don't know nobody that's discredited her yet. And that's what I want to talk about. Who's discredited her? Who? None of the artists that she's talked about have made any retaliation claims, or except for Tevin Campbell. I think, if I must say, I think Tevin Campbell and probably Christopher Williams, his accusations, and along with Puff, were the biggest ones. Would y'all agree? Thank you, Priscilla. I appreciate it. I could use it, brother. I got to eat and move. I mean, I'm out here. I'm really outside New York, so it costs me a couple of dollars to get to New York or whatever. But I need to go by there and see them. And I think I got a spot for me in NY for Thanksgiving, thank God. So, you know what I'm saying? I asked if I could get those 2 days for myself. I was granted those 2 days, so I'm definitely going to go to NY, see everybody or whatever. I miss everybody there. I really do. I missed here when I was gone, but I really miss everybody back there. And plus, a lot of people here just like pompous assholes nowadays. Like, they're just the most obnoxious. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just some really obnoxious, nasty, like things they would stay here. You wouldn't dare say that to me in Midtown Manhattan. I'd knock you on the floor, you know? So, you know, you kind of have to let that go. So when you live with that content, you know, it's just like, yeah, this could be a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Somebody gonna get hurt here. So time to go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, time to go. You know what I mean? Let me get away from this. But when I was going here, I lived in this place for a very long time. I actually watched this place change, you know. when I was younger, the place I'm at right now, actually, the place I'm at actually right now, I used to hang out here a very lot, and my friends did as well. So it's like now that we're older and everything like that or whatever, then to come back to here after living in the Bronx for so long, it's like wow, it's different. I mean, I think I told you guys and I showed you guys a little bit about the video that I did. I showed you the physical aspects of it as far as like a lot of the stores being closed and things like that. But a lot of these stores are not coming back. They're not coming back next year, year after next, or whatever. I'm trying to tell them don't mess with me because I get into them. Yeah, sheeple do hate truth tellers. They're upset she's revealing the truth. And that's what it is to get back to Jaguar. People, like, I haven't heard anybody refute what she said. You know, I haven't heard nobody refute what she said. I just haven't. Have y'all? Like, I would think Christopher Williams would be the first person to say something. And I haven't heard him say anything. And I did a little investigation of Christopher Williams, and I saw that, I think it was a Costco, he had got caught stealing it or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, and then I did a little investigation of Tevin Campbell. I see Tevin Campbell had something involved with a prostitute. Now I don't know if Tevin Campbell was actually soliciting a prostitute or he was actually a prostitute himself, whatever the case may be. I don't know. But what I do know is Tevin Campbell was evidently arrested for it. I don't see no deposition for the case itself, so I don't know. But that we all know, you know. That we all know. So I don't you know, I'm lost. They are amazingly silent. Okay, I'm just understanding. Did y'all talk back to me, please? This is a conversation. He was arrested. He was arrested. Tevin Campbell, yes, he was arrested. Christopher Williams, Christopher Williams, I'm dreaming. Christopher, a New Jack City light-skinned Banker Williams, him. That guy. He wasn't arrested, but Tevin Campbell was at one time or another. And I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. How come they hadn't said nothing? Because if somebody had said, yo, I heard, listen, check this out. Y'all hear the wind. I heard that Davin Lewis had somebody's pickle. It was made. I'm coming out tomorrow, new video. Yo, it ain't happened. I ain't waiting a week. I'm not waiting 2 days. No, we're refuting this right now. Let's get this out the way. Especially, and look, I don't have no kids or nothing, so I'm all, you know, but nobody has refuted. I think Jill Scott made a mention, a little murmur. She threw some kind of like undercover tweet or something like that. Thank you very much, Jay Thomas. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys. And if you could just type it in there, that'll be wonderful too, man. This is my work right here. You know, I have all these followers, and you guys have got to just. I love the guys that are rocking with me, because what I'm doing is I'm just matriculating myself and trying to find. Thank you, Lanny S. My Cash App is right in there, and if you could just go to my description box. I'm having to circumnavigate what I was doing and moving into another direction. Like, come on, let's get for real. Y'all wouldn't be here every day if I was sitting here and I was just talking about Puff in the music industry. So we need to have other conversations too, and I'm more valuable than that. So like I tell you guys all the time, I will have those music conversations with you, those media conversations with you, and everything else. But at the same time, I like to have and change and talk about other things too, other topics of Fred. You know what I mean? So yeah, I haven't heard anybody refute her claims. I just want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys think that Jaguar Wright is lying? Anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. And I'll wait. Let me see right now, bro. Desiree, Prince Lloyd, and Tommy Jesse. Yep, I got Prince, Tommy, and Desiree. Thank you very much, Prince, Tommy, and Desiree. I see that right there. I appreciate it, you guys, and if you keep them coming, I appreciate it, because I got to get on this train and go see my people. I really do. I need to do that. I'm gonna probably have to be down for like 2 or 3 days, so that's gonna cost me an easy little $250. You know what I mean? So I'm pushing. I want y'all to just type in and chime in and tell me what y'all think. That's me, Prince Lloyd. I already knew. I figured that. Thank you guys, all three of you. I appreciate it. Yeah, keep it coming, guys, if you can. This is my job, right now. What's going on? What's going on, Las Vegas? Kareem Smith, Misro 61, Misro 61. I think Jag startled them with her boldness. I think that's what got both of us. You know, y'all got to remember, and if y'all haven't seen the video, let me tell you about the video. So when I first, J-Time, he been out with me for a minute, so when I first made my first video, and it's down below, and you guys, the only thing you have to do is just press my icon, and after you press my icon, just go over to videos, press videos, and just scroll down. I'm from Philly. Okay, Kareem, you had said that before. You know Jag. The question I'd asked was, I said, do you think Jag is lying? And then a couple other people had asked me, how come I never got in touch with Jaguar Wright? Which I'm gonna do a whole separate video just addressing that or whatever. But and the reason I say that is because her and I both, we come up in a match with each other. Like, her stuff is, you can't see it from my end, but her stuff is recommended to me all the time. And then now I started getting this other thing where my stuff is recommended to me. Like, I look at my notifications and it's my video recommended to me. No lie. So it's kind of like, it's weird. So I know she's got to be getting the same because I've had viewers come and tell me the same thing. Now, I think it would be interesting interviewing Jaguar Wright, but I don't want to put her in the compromising position that I don't want to be in myself, which is being interviewed by someone else. I think Jag is a dope person. I don't think that anything she's saying, like, let's be perfectly clear here. In the first, I'll talk about her first initial story before I'll talk about my own and show how I came to progress. In her first initial story, she talks about, and I believe if I'm right here, she was talking about the crookedness of a lot of different artists and things like that, which a lot of us already know. This is you know what I mean? No big deal here. Like, if you've been in the music industry like me, there's a lot of people that are crooks. There's a lot of people that are wrongdoers. There's a lot of people that don't fulfill their promises. In our case, there's a lot of people that just don't care, and they're more happy that we made them rich and we ended up being mediocre or almost nothing. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. Pawns and kings, baby. Pawns and kings. So, you live with it, and most smart pawns, they sometime or another become kings in their own right, which is the transition I'm currently making. And I was trying to make my friends make it too. Jaguar's first video compelled me because of pure simple fact, the ferocity that she had in it. I love that she knows she's protected by Christ. Absolutely. I think Jaguar is pretty much being as honest as possible. However, there are times she is unable to remember a sequence of events. Nevertheless, I believe she's telling the truth. You know what? I can tell you why that is. And I relate this to the music industry. When you've been around it for as long as we have, what happens is you do start getting blurred moments. You get a lot of moments where you were drunk, you were hanging out, you were doing whatever. I can talk about myself personally. I've been all across the country, and it's not even just one time, but like several times over with our work at the time when that was happening. Now, not so much, but at the time, less than 5 years ago. So when you're moving around a lot and you're drinking or whatever, and preferably one of the things that we did was we drank a lot. I said preferably, I mean voluntarily. We drank a lot because we had Ciroc. The guys, when we was in Miami, they used to drop us off a whole gallon. Like, if the Ciroc trucks were out there, we get a whole gallon of it. This is all facts. I put up pictures with me with Ciroc promo and everything else at the office. We were there from the day it launched. You know what I mean? And the distilling happens here in Connecticut, also for the two other Branson products, which are not Puffs products, but Puffs products is Ciroc. So we had alcohol readily available to us. So sometimes, yeah, Jaguar was drinking, Jaguar was partying. I can identify with it. So I could see where Jaguar would be like, yeah, I can't remember the sequence of event like that or this like that or whatever. Because a lot of times, motherfuckers is drunk, high, whatever else. And she had relatives in the industry, exactly. Yeah, Jag knows a lot of people. I mean, you can say the same thing for me. You know, like I had, you know, which brings me into my first story and how I guess I already knew who Jaguar Wright was. Don't get me wrong about that. I knew who she was a long time ago. I'm a roots crew type of guy. You know what I mean? So that's my flow. That's my sound right there. You know, Black Thought is one of the most influential MCs I believe that not only came out of Philly, but just in general. I don't think he gets a lot of praise the way he should be. You know, I love that he's on Jimmy Kimmel. I love that the Roots is on Jimmy Kimmel, but that's a whole different factor for them, a whole different role for them. So, you know, outside what they organically do, which is that is a form of what they organically do too, because let's not get it messed up, they're a rap band. You know what I mean? But when I saw Black Door do that, I was just like, yo, this the Rods, Illadelph, Half Life, all those albums. It's crazy. Um, so I've been familiar with Jaguar as far as that, and even her story about him kind of like made me take a side eye. But yeah, these things happen, man. People were young then. People were young, you know. People were young. A lot of people were drinking. A lot of people were doing what they were doing, and certain things happen. Do I think if it's not at an extreme, should it be revisited? If it's not at an extreme, no, I don't think it should be revisited. I really don't. I think some things, and I'm not speaking against Jaguar either, so don't get me wrong. But I just think some things that they weren't spoken about right then and there, certain things that they shouldn't be because you're now doubting the extremity of which it was to not me but to the public. You know, the first thing they're gonna have on their mind is doubt. She don't lie. She hasn't, it hasn't changed at all. Yeah, she hasn't changed the story at all. I've heard that, but you see, this is the thing. I haven't listened to enough of Malik B's rhymes as a solo artist to give my opinion on that. Now, I will say that everybody, ah, I had my beard caught on this thing. I will say that everybody somewhere, somehow, uh, you know, bars from everybody. I borrowed, like, if you want to give a total combination of artists I've seen that borrowed, that would be Shy. Um, I would say that Loon borrowed a lot from Mace, but Loon was originally part of Harlem World. A lot of people don't know that, so that makes sense. There's many different artists that I've been around. I think every different artist they kind of like borrow, you know. I mean, and I'm talking about all the way from the 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, on up. The, I think he stole Malik's lyrics. Loon wrote a lot of stuff. Loon, like I said, was actually originally supposed to be in Harlem World, and somehow Big L was also supposed to be in it, and I don't know what happened. I think that would have been a better lineup. Not saying anybody should have been excluded, you know what I mean, as that lineup. They could have just added them to the lineup, especially Big L, who we now know is legendary as far as Harlem is concerned. So that's beautiful. Lanny caught my attention. I have to look into it. Yeah. Fact though, that's a fact. You can look all the stuff up that I say. I don't sit there and give y'all no chuck or whatever. And guys, Cash App Stringer Bell 80, man. I need to write a couple of dollars to get down this road here. You know, um, Thanksgiving. I hustle my way. I said I'm gonna find somebody to spend it with. Yeah, man. You know. Exactly. You know, Puff probably owe a lot of people a lot more than he owe me. I will be honest about that. But I will say this much too. I don't think he has any interest in it, and that's one of the divisive things that tears everything down. With all the millionaires and now billionaires that we have in black culture, you know, some of the problems that they had, they could take care of their own. You know what I mean? Like giving out a look. I looked at the numbers for stimulus, and it's only a couple billion. You know what I mean? Like you round up and see who really need it. You know, Loon was content with where he is right now because Loon was on a different journey way before that. You know, yeah, I think Yo Sean too. Loon was on a different journey prior to that. You know, like his situation came about something totally different. Like if you don't have the details of what happened to Loon, basically Loon was in somewhere. I think he was in England for a while, And then he went from England and he ended up being somewhere in the Middle East. Now I saw him one time, he was in Qatar, another time he was in Dubai, and then I saw another, which made sense because Red Cafe, he stay in Dubai all the time. He got business out there. You know what I'm saying? So that's Bad Boy family. So, and I don't have nothing against Red Cafe. Red Cafe has always treated me nice, especially one particular time in Miami. He's like, yo, come over and sit with us. You look like you belong with us. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. Loon's situation came from a drug deal or more so the what is the word I'm looking for? He facilitated, which it equaled down to a conspiracy theory. Not much different from what John Forte did. You know, when it comes to those guys, they know you can get it easy. They got a lot of money to offer. I mean, you got people in Dubai riding around with gold-plated Lamborghinis, no bull. You know, gold-plated Bugattis, no bull. You know, it's a quite opulent area. So from Red Cafe being out there, a couple other people, we know they've been out there in the area or whatever, you could kind of generally get a feeling for what the area is like. Yeah, Red Cafe. Red Cafe right now, where he was booking artists to come over into Dubai, Qatar, all that area over there, and he was bringing like mad different artists. That was basically his thing for a while. Outside of that, you'll see a lot of other different artists. They'll be doing different ventures like that or whatever. Like, you just saw recently not Puff, Jay-Z made another massive move getting in the marijuana business, which I think is a perfect time to do it. Lil Wayne has done the same. You can look at any state revenue, including the state I'm in right now, Connecticut. I think that revenue from the taxes is really the reason they've been able to stay afloat. So here you can get legal marijuana licenses. So, smoke casually, they have dispensaries and all that. That's one of the pluses of being in this state. But, they always find a tax revenue, whether they're taxing the heck out of houses or whatever they can come up with. You know what I mean? They always do. You know? Guys, if you can, put my, what's the name, Cash App in there one more time, $STRINGERBELL 80. And I want to get back here on this whole thing with Jaguar. Jaguar's situation with Tasha K spells something totally different. And what it spells there is something that has ran amok in the witchery of YouTube. Oh yeah, it's dark in this thing. And the witchery of YouTube has now compelled a lot of people to go, if I want to say, quite nuts, including myself sometimes. I have to catch myself sometimes, some of the stuff I'm uploading. But the maliciousness and the intent of being malicious is what more concerns me more than anything. See, Tasha K did what she did with the intent of being malicious. You understand what I'm saying? So it's something different when it's an intent to be malicious. She calculated if she could get an interview from her. She knew that she would get an interview from her, I think, in my back of my mind, just based on the amount of views that she had. She took that, and what she did was she said, you know what, I'm going to run with this. And I'm going to run it in a way where now, if it's 2-3 weeks out, I can not only spin the story, I can convince or put a hindrance of doubt in the air for now any more stories that she comes out with, and now I look like the savior. But if I go back 10, 15, 20 years prior to this, you wasn't even on YouTube, Tasha K. So how you know anything about the business? How do you know anything that she's saying is not true? How do you know if anything she's saying is true? You don't know either because you've never been around. There's no more than I know what goes on in a hospital because I'm not a nurse or a doctor. I can speculate, and that speculation is what's revolving around the YouTube framework nowadays. Speculation, theoretic theories, presumptuous inquiries, being voyeurs. I can keep going on. All these things right now are playing premise to I don't even want to say an attitude, more so a momentum to tear people down, even when they're telling you exactly what you want to hear. Even when they take all the questions that you have, if you just listen, you would answer them. You know, you would get them answered. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are making these people rich. I just don't understand how you're making them rich. Can somebody tell me how do y'all come to y'all senses and say, you know what, let's make Tasha K rich? First of all, her voice is annoying. Like, she has a very annoying voice, and I'm not taking no shots at Storm Monroe, but Storm Monroe, he has a very feminine voice for a man, you know? So I always raise an eyebrow when I hear men and they talk very feminine. And so I always raise an eyebrow a little bit, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school like that. I grew up around a lot of uncles. But I like Storm, and I like some of the videos he has up. A lot of people have watched Tasha K. You know, she lost she lost thousands and thousands of subscribers. Thousands of them. And I don't know what her view count is regularly, but I saw it trending at about 24K within a couple hours. And she had thousands of subscribers removed away. That's what I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. There's other people that I believe that are worse than her that should have had this happen to her. Like Cynthia G, she has thousands and thousands of subscribers, and she's always talking about beta males, but she never talks about beta females, which, in all mistakes and purposes, she has made herself become one. Y'all hit those thumbs up button too, man. I appreciate it. That thumbs up helps. If y'all in here, hit those like buttons for me. I appreciate it, man. It helps too. And make sure you donate $ string of bell 80. I really want to get into this. I want to get into not just and I'll probably retitle this later. I want to slow down just 1 second. I want to slow down just a little bit. I'm going too fast. And I do that sometimes. I go a little too fast. Thank y'all for those likes. I go a little too fast, and I get out of the way. Tasha K is nothing but an example of what many do. And what those many do is they do something that I've seen happen over and over and over and over again. And the more I research these YouTubers that are outside the realm of what I usually watch, the more and more I'm seeing how this venomous these motherfuckers are. I saw people making fun. Bootsy might lose his leg. I can't do the loudness either. I can't. The loudness is what Tasha K does, and that's what I meant. I just watched not 2 minutes ago, before I started doing this, I watched another video, and it wasn't with Tasha K, but it was with another blogger that was trying to sound in the tone of Tasha K. Now, what I mean in the tone, I mean the same octave. I mean, she was trying to be her, you know? And I said, well, that's a first mistake, I would think. But no. It's almost like the crowd wants a clone. You know, each clone is a better clone. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I like the fact that I've had a unique adventure or ride so far. And, you know, I've done things in my lifetime now, you know, at the young age that I am, that people 3 times my age won't ever do. You know? They won't be up in the W. They won't be waiting on private jets. They don't even know what a fucking Gulfstream is. You know, they've never done any of those things. So, you know, and it doesn't make you better than anybody, anything like that. It's just the fact that it is what it is. It's life. This is one thing I can say. Tasha K, that ain't been the same experience she's had the past 16, 17 years. I can guarantee you that. If we went back and we asked Tasha K to document that and show us that. No, and I don't mean that to be cocky. What I mean is, I'm trying to give you guys a balance here, and I don't know the best way to say it. I'm not always the best way of explaining things. No. It's not about a tit for tat. No. It's not about that. It's about actually being able to speak on the experience that you actually have had. You understand what I'm saying? Being able to speak on an environment that you've actually been in. Being able to speak about something without being presumptuous so much that you are now casting a shadow of doubt. This is the difference between someone like Tasha K and the validity of someone like Jaguar Wright. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. And would y'all please donate and hit that like button while y'all here. Stringer Bell 80, $ Stringer Bell 80. See, there's something that's unique about both of these individuals. One is a professional liar and is adorned, which I think is Tasha K, because I've looked at the comment section. Not only have I looked at the comment section, but I've just seen what other bloggers have voiced their points and views and made videos concerning the same thing. So not only will I say her salaciousness, like, precedes her before she even gets in the room, you know, because it resonates amongst different people. They're all saying the same thing. The ones that are moving away from her are saying, I can't believe you did that to Jaguar Wright. Why would you do that to Jaguar Wright? Now, on the other end of the thing, other end of the spectrum here, you got something totally different. You got Jaguar Wright, who's an authentic woman, whatever. She can't get nothing but 15 people to buy her music like that. She can barely get any cash apps. Hell, I can barely get any cash apps. I can guarantee you the whole time I'm in here, and I scream out people's names when they donate to me, because a lot of people are special enough and wise enough to see through what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I've got some, like, you would think that I would, like, fucking burst open right now, and I think that's the same way Jaguar's getting right now, because then, like, when you tell what's going on and they still don't believe you, it's like, boom. Now, my first video was how Puff ignored my pleas when I asked for help. And it was concerning not only this Puff, but it was concerning other people that were around Bad Boy Entertainment who, in my opinion, didn't do as much as they could to help me. As a retaliation, when people started donating a couple of dollars to me, I had 4 young men that I used to work with for over 20 years start putting video links to their video they had made about me. And I was like, why would they do that? If you ain't gonna help me, then let the people help me. I had over 180 of those links. And it finally took me downloading this filter thing that I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is on the Google App Store. And I get a lot of apps from across the world. Let me let y'all know that. And the trick to it is where you sign up for your Google Services app. Boom, that's as much as I'm gonna let you know. It's amazing to me how Tariq Nasheed, who's a good guy, I like Tariq Nasheed, Boyce Watkins, and these guys never contribute their own portions or their own privilege to the culture uniquely. I don't know why this is, but they don't. If they do, I don't see it. It is amazing to me how someone like Tasha K during this time is able to get rich and get her nails done, get her hair done, and she has a husband. But Jaguar can only get 15 people to buy her link to her music so she can make money from her music. I can't get shit. I'll even settle for $5,000 all told if I can just raise it. You know what I'm saying? To get by my day-to-day and everything else. $ STRINGERBELL 80, by the way, guys. I don't spend money to high. And I've been and had this jacket, so while you're looking at me, you know what I mean? I've been and had this shit. People be looking at me like, oh, I don't know, how am I supposed to dress, like a hobo? Am I supposed to look like a hobo? Are you a hobo? You know, like, I don't know. How am I supposed to look? I mean, shit. I wake up to it, man. I'm not gonna go into me. I just find it amazing that we're the ones neglected and they're the ones lifted. And the reason they're lifted is because they sit around and they tear down other people of the culture. Very rarely do you see these people tearing down people of another culture. Very rarely. You know, I applaud, and a lot of people gonna think I'm bat crazy for this, but if you didn't see it, I might re-upload it. It's a video from Candace Owens, out of all people, and she's talking about Harry Styles and how he chose to do a 5-page centerfold, I guess, in dresses. And, you know, people are going to have their own valid opinion about whatever. Please hit those like buttons, guys, if you're coming in. People are going to have their opinions or whatever the case may be. And you know, I'm neither way. But the things that Candace Owens said were, I got to say, pivotal. And I followed it up by, I saw, believe it or not, English News say the same thing, which he's from the UK. And they didn't agree with it either. So I said, well, maybe, and they almost said uniquely the same thing that Candace Owens had said. So Is it because of the internet that people like Tasha K exist and are able to prosper because they're doing not even being an anti-hero? What they're actually doing is they're being like this despicable people. So I'm just wondering, is it the climate itself, which exists, which is created on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, all these different areas and arenas, and everybody thinks they're gonna sit on the throne by profile. I'm just saying, is it reasonable enough not to agree and say this much? If that is the case, right? Why would Tasha K be able to thrive in that world, but wouldn't be able to thrive in a normal world? In a normal world, if we all wasn't at head and foot with each other on YouTube as YouTubers and stuff like that, or just even as social media, because I go on people's neck on social media. Anybody else in here ever have an argument with somebody on social media? It can get real. I done got to the point before where I'd be like, oh yeah, oh real? Well, pull up there. What's your address? You know what I mean? Like I've gotten, and I've gotten to some that have lasted for days. I'm just like that. I ain't gonna change. That's just who I am. I am ashamed. But it's me. So and I admit my faults. That's my faults. A lot of people can't even admit their faults. That's my fault. You cannot say anything about my mother on YouTube and leave it there for everyone to view. You cannot say anything about my father and leave it on YouTube for everyone to view. Like, it just doesn't happen with me. And so I will report you. I'm tattling. I'm a snitcher. I will report your profile in a minute. You know what I mean? Especially if your intent to me was to evoke some type of harm on me. You got to get it. You know what I mean? I don't have any kids.
No, it's not good.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Yep. So it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how someone like Tasha K can prosper like that, or someone like that's just as salacious as her, specifically the women. I don't get it. I just don't get it, and I don't know, man. It's this amazing world we live in. If I was on here and I was talking about everybody, like, it's amazing to me. When I was on here and I was talking about the music business, I was disdained or whatever, right? I got hundreds of thousands of views. Ever since I toned it down and I didn't start talking about anybody no more, I don't get any donations, barely. No one is concerned with my well-being, even though this month I have had, I came directly, this has been this year for me. And I think Jaguar could probably agree with this, because it's probably been similar for her. Up until February, I was back in the arms with the guy that you see, Sean Prez. And what I mean by back in the arms, I mean back in the fray of him and his circle and what he does independently outside of Bad Boy. And so we were doing this podcast. It's called Power Move Makers, which you guys see me share. I think I shared an interview that he just recently did with Master P. And I think I shared another one he did where I can't remember who it is, but I know I shared the Master P one. And I'll share it again. And Dane Dash, all the guys that you guys know, we've interviewed them over there. And it was wonderful. That got shut down. And I was already climbing back up then, because I wasn't working for Bad Boy anymore. So I was climbing back up. And I got involved in that, and then boom, here comes COVID. And can one of you guys write my what's the name of the thing? And it's also in the description box, guys. Stringer Bell 80, and make sure you hit those like buttons if you're coming in. It helps a lot. So COVID strikes, and then like towards the end of February, where you at, bro? Meet me by Kingston Park. No, I'm not even in New York, brother. I'm in Connecticut right now. I feel you though. It do look like the train station. No, I'm in Connecticut. I'm in Connecticut. Christianity might not be your thing, but trust me, this is temporary. No, Christianity is actually absolutely my thing. Philanthropy is within Christianity, isn't it? $STRINGERVELL 80. I'm just questioning the fact of how these guys directly have these salacious, nasty videos and they get so many views or whatever. And when I did a video that was similar, or my video was in some type of like dire situation that I got all the views. And when I talk about regular stuff, I just saw as YouTube has, like, I have people tell me now they don't get alerts from my stuff and everything like that. And that's cool. I don't care, because like the videos I do set and I do edits to and preordain and put up, they always get more views anyway a lot of times than the lives. But my lives were getting like 2K every, like within an hour and a half. Just came here from Valhalla, New York. Okay. Tasha K is the only one with that type of platform. It amazes me how villain these folks normally come on their platform. I believe Jag 100%. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Tiffany Ashley Brown. Exactly. Tasha K isn't the only one that's the only villain, if you want to say. Yeah, she isn't the only villain. Yeah, I know I still have my talents, and it's just like, you know, I don't have a space to record, even though I have a studio that's like a multi-million-dollar studio on my phone. You know what I mean? Like literally, I could do like 50 presents of auto-tune. I can chop, create, record everything on my phone, but I don't have a space to do that right now. Unfortunately, if it's quiet, you know what I mean? And usually that would be a recording studio, but all the recording studios in New York shut down. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just look under the bottom here and you'll see the type of studios I've recorded in. And you'll understand, oh, I understand why you said that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's about 10 or 12 of them now, if not more, in this page. Two, I mean, I got a video up and I showed y'all like basically how the economy's working and how like you're only getting a few hours here. The only people that are really making money here and people are not in a position where they can employ people. So it's like not gainfully anyway, you know what I mean? Or it's something that you would want or you previously have some type of interest in or some type of training. Like, so since I'm out of that business now, I won't say I'm out of that business, but out of the foray at the end of the business I was in, I need to re-educate myself. So that takes me about a year, whatever. That's halted up by, you know what I mean, my current situation and shit. So that's why I'm on here with the $STRINGERBELL80. And I know a lot of you guys are new to my page, so you don't understand. I was going to ask you before, but I understand if you don't want. No, I don't tell anybody where I'm at out here. I don't. I really don't. I had one person come on here one time. It was when I did the live, and I went. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe even more. But it was about 2 weeks ago, and I actually went across the street to where they had this triple shooting at, and I started filming that stuff or whatever. Someone said, "Oh, I know where you at," and then they typed it in. And I'm like, "Why would you do that? Like, you don't know who looking for me or whatever." Thank you very much, Christio. Yes, Stringerbell80, $STRINGERBELL80. Yeah, I don't be on here for cash grab, my dude. I be on here because I have to survive. Like, it is crazy, but absolutely, it coming out here was cool at first. But like now, it's just like, yeah, it's time to go. Exactly. I hope that Jag continues to expose Hollywood. It needs to be no matter what the platform she uses. Stay safe. Folks can't be malicious. Yeah, you know, and that's another funny thing too. Within that same video, you know, a lot of people, Candace Owens is from right here in Connecticut, if y'all didn't know. She's from Stamford, Connecticut, where I was at before I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I know people in Stanford. I know how they are in Stanford, you know? And so it made no surprise to me when I heard Candace Owens talking the way she was talking. She was talking like a typical, I hate to say it like this, black Stanford girl, you know, privileged to a certain extent, and well to do, you know? So I'm not mad at Candace Owens for saying that. I'm going to do a re-upload of the previous video I had up, and I want you guys to make sure you take a listen to it and listen to what Candace is saying. And she used and uttered those same words, Hollywood. She said the same thing. She said, this is what they're using to control your children. This is what they think it's all right now, but in the end game is going to whatever. And I'm not saying I'm a proponent. I'm never a proponent for these or advocate for these political figures, don't you know? See. I'm never an advocate for them, and I don't want you to be misconstrued when you see that. I just want to let you guys know. Please hit those like buttons, and please hit my Cash App if you would. That's $STRINGERBELL80, Stringerbell80. When I go in front of Trump Tower, or when I think, Yeah, it is very disrespectful. When I go in front of Trump Tower, and I did that like multiple times, and I went live with you guys up there, whatever. And thank God that I know those guys are up there because they used to come into Starbucks all the time to get their coffee. So all those guys up there at NSA and all those guys, and that's why they took pictures with me and all that stuff and give them thumbs up and everything. I don't rock with them. They just know me from Starbucks, you know what I mean? And they cool with me. Like, I was doing that before anybody was doing that. I would go up there and do my lives in front of the building, da-da-da-da. What's fake? I don't know what's fake. What's fake, phony? Well, let me know what you're talking about because I don't know what you're talking about. But those videos that I did up there, I did other videos prior to that. That's why I'm throwing up all these throwback videos. Yeah. That's why I'm throwing up all these previous videos that I had up on my other lives that I did on my other social media page. So those ones that I put up for you guys, if you see them in the description box, make sure you go check them out. I threw up one where I got caught in the riot in Manhattan over George Floyd. You're going to see a lot of footage in there from broken windows, broken shops, popped ATMs, all that stuff is in that video. So the one that's about 13 minutes long, that's that one. I know I do. I've heard that before too. I deserve genuine people around me. Thank you. Hit that thumbs up again, guys, if you can. And Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. That is Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. There's another video I put up also, which was during the curfew, when they first initiated the curfew with us. That was back in March. And there's another curfew that was for the subway, and that's why I got caught in Manhattan, and that's why I was able to have that video. So basically, they had started riots in Midtown Manhattan, and it was mostly about Fifth Avenue, up by where I used to stay at. Same reason I know all those guys over there at Trump Tower, because I used to stay on Fifth Avenue. So we were, I guess, all the way down to 42nd Street, I want to say. And if anybody else was outside of New York at that time, you know what I'm talking about. Midtown Manhattan and Fordham Road got hit the hardest. Thank you, Christio, for putting up my Cash App. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App, y'all. $5, $10, whatever. I think that was the most destruction I saw in Manhattan because things were set on fire. I got some more videos to put up where people were setting trash cans on fire left and right. I got some where they had actually taken it was a table, and they had thrown the table actually through the store. So I'm gonna throw those up for you. But it was crazy in the city, and it was two conflicting things going on, but they were both in the motivation of it was something needed to be said. And one of them was the duress we were having from being cooped up in the house because of COVID-19. And so that's why I wanted to fast forward to, I went from that recording space that we were having and that weekly thing we were doing with stars, like literally stars. I was with everybody. I mean, I put up pictures for you guys, and I want to put up some more. I went from that to just totally being dead and being in the house, And so we were in quarantine down there probably, I want to say the better part of almost 2.5, almost 3 months. And mind you, involuntarily, you know what I mean? Most people. My highlight of my day was going to Trader Joe's on DeKalb. You know what I mean? I would hop on the train, go across the Brooklyn Bridge, and go to DeKalb and go to Trader Joe's or the Pavilion. There was like 1 or 2 stores open still. You know what I mean? But things were crazy for us. And where I was at, it was like there was no interaction amongst the people in the house to a broad sense, you know what I mean? So, like, people speak for a few seconds or whatever, but after that, it's like, oh, well, I'm going over here. Oh, well, I'm going over here, and that's the end of the day for most part. So it was like, that was discouraging, that was very discouraging. Yeah. She said, oh, wow, near me, yeah. It's crazy. So much stuff happened down in New York that I saw during the pandemic. I love Trader Joe too. Oh, you near DeKalb? Okay, yeah. I used to go to that Trader Joe right there. And then they got Target in there. I think it's Target. Yeah, it's Target. Target's on the top floor, and then I forgot everything else is in there. But Trader Joe's is down at the bottom floor, and there's a Cat's Deli down there too, like in Midtown. The Cat's Deli with the pastrami and rice. Oh, yeah, it's the best sandwiches ever. They cost like $12, but they're the best sandwiches ever. They are. Um, the stuff that we saw in New York during that pandemic, I saw people like it's crazy now. Like, and that's why I share some of the stuff in the community section with y'all. Yeah, City Point, exactly. Going down towards Mount Basin. I know New York. Are you looking for a place in New York? I am not, and I'm gonna lead into that. Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Christy. Absolutely not. Like, I miss the Bronx and everything like that. Like, don't get me wrong, all facts. I really miss the Bronx. But at the same time, being in the Bronx is detrimental to my health right now. A lot of big ticks in COVID-19 happened in Westchester County, Bronxville, Bronx, and South Bronx right now, you know? And Mayor DeTrashio is considering calling them orange zones. So if y'all don't know what orange zones are, there were, clusters of where spikes of the virus are popping up at or whatever. The same thing with Connecticut, Connecticut, ironically enough, they were the lowest with COVID-19 infections. Now they're the highest with COVID-19 infections. New infections anyway, doesn't know. Who wouldn't know? Jersey is terrible down there right now. They got Newark down there under curfew. And they're being quarantined, I think, for like 10 days or something like that. The Bronx, when you said the Bronx is crazy now, it's like the Walking Dead. Yo, I said that same thing. The Bronx are like the Walking Dead right now. Like, it's crazy over there. Yo, there is so much homelessness and so much drug use over there right now. Like, even over where I live at on Pelham. Pelham was cool. Like, Pelham, Warren, Mace, Allenton. Like, this cool. Like, I can get off in Pelham at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna see somebody out there I know. You know what I mean? Like, everybody in the neighborhood knows each other pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much how everything from like Allenton. Facts. The little drugs are crazy. That's the drug. Yeah, they're crazy over there. I went to speaking of Allenton, I went to the what's the name right over there, the Golden Crust. Yeah, I went to the So listen, I went to the Golden Crust right across the street from what the hell is that? Papa Gino's or whatever the hell that shit is. The little small one right there, right between Alton where the train station is. So I went to that one, and there was like 10 dudes down there right there on the corner, and they was all smoked out. And I was like, yo, I didn't even grab my food from there. I was like, I don't even want nothing from here. I waited until I went to Brooklyn, and I just ate from that Golden Crust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even want to eat nothing from over there because right next to it is like a parking lot or something like that. It looks sus over there anyway. Like, if you was going, like, you ain't living in the neighborhood, this ain't the place you want to stop at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning and get something to eat. Not even at 9 o'clock at night you want to get something to eat unless you know people over there, everybody recognize your face. And for people to really recognize your face, you need to live there for at least about 3, 4 months, and then everybody be like, "Oh, all right, he live over here." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Still watch you walk, but you know what I mean? Like, you live over here now, you know? So everybody on something though. Yeah, she said yes, for real. It's like after about 4 or 5 months, everybody be like, "Oh, all right, he live over here." You know what I mean? But like, before that, you got to go through that little, you know what I'm saying, initiation point. That's with any neighborhood, though. You guys make sure you hit the thumbs up, and please donate to my Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80, and PayPal link is in the description. Do not donate to GoFundMe. For real, I don't even want to cuss in this because I don't want to demonetize. So I'm trying. Do I want to live in CT? That's a great question. Opposed to the first one, I would love to live in Connecticut. There are many of things that would make me want to stay in Connecticut. One, Connecticut is a very clean state. Two, there are some very intelligent people in Connecticut because of some of the institutions they have here. I didn't go to college here in Connecticut. I could have, but instead I went to college in New York. The other thing I would say is there's an opportunity for me as far as building my shipping container homes that I tell you guys about all the time. So there's an opportunity for that because they have pre-existing structures already. One in New Haven and another structure in Meriden, and a couple other structures being erected in places like Sheldon, Connecticut, and a couple other places. So that's another incentive for me staying here. Now, the bad side. In this particular area I'm at, there are no women here. And the women that are here are either like very, very like suburban, oopty doopty, you know what I mean? And the interaction from what I'm used to, even if you're a city kid in Manhattan, like we have our city kids and then we have like our borough kids, you know what I mean? So like city kids are like kids that are always in Manhattan, we always down by Chelsea, you know, everybody has their own slang, own dialect or whatever, whatever, for the most part. You know what I mean? But you will have the clones, and the clones are the ones that are like, oh my God, like yeah, like yeah. So, you know, those I kind of stay away from because we usually view them as being kind of immature, and they just haven't learned their voice yet to articulate themselves. You know, is that a better way? So there's a lack of women here, definitely in the portion of Connecticut I'm in. Two, I need a partner. I don't need someone. I don't need a dependent. And the way that a lot of this is going into one, the way a lot of women have been raised around here, and I understand it, is very different than it is in New York, where a girl in New York, if she say you moving, she will help you get some money with you. Out here, girls out here, they're not there. It's me, 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 me. Which is a lot of women like that. I got two sisters, but it's over exaggerated here to the point where I've seen men go gray in their head at 30 years old, die, all kinds of stuff. And I said, it won't be me. So I would definitely need more of a partner, especially like in my business and like the prior business I went into, but with the shipping container business, definitely. I want somebody that's steady, someone that definitely, if something happened to me, they would be able to take over all occupations and you know, of the business at that time. So yeah, that would be very paramount for me. I think it's paramount as hell. You know what I mean? Uh, that's how I kind of sound, but I'm not immature. No, I don't mean that. I mean, there's some women in Connecticut sound very, very. I mean, not in Connecticut, but in this section of Connecticut I'm at, their reality and my reality that I've had for the past years are very different. Our experiences are very different. In fact, the experiences that I've had just traveling with that company and the things they did for us. I mean, none of it was on our dime. You know, none of it was on our dime. It was on their dime. So, you know, the hotels, the trips, the partying, the eating like them, drinking like them, or whatever. After a while, you become accustomed to that. Then you get a check with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, what'd you do? Oh, nothing. I stayed at the W for the past 5 days. How about you? You know? And that's the way it went, you know? And I got the pictures, the video, and everything else to prove it. I put it up. Hell, I don't have to lie. I did that life for over 16 years, 16 plus years almost. It's like Doggy Diamonds. I mean, not Doggy Diamonds, Chuck No Joke said. So it's crazy to me now because of COVID-19, because of a lot of different other aspects that are going on in society, the high unemployment rates, the high unemployment benefits, new tag team of sign-uppers, you know, if you want to say. All these people now are now facing the reality that I think Connecticut is facing now, where everything is drying up. Even where I'm at right now, it's very dense here, you know, and so the denseness and this, it's like a different type of solidarity here. Like there's no, I don't know how to explain it. It's just really solemn and quiet, and it's just a little too fucking quiet. So I think that's where, you know, I conflict with some people. I have a very ongoing personality. I've always been around people, always had to be around people. I worked in the fucking marketing department, so I always had to be, hey, how are you doing? Hey, what's going on? You know, all the time. So now I'm happy to counter that energy because of, you know, where I'm at currently. It's nerve wracking. It really is. You're in New England, great place, very intelligent people. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're from Boston? Nice stuff. Yeah, I mean, I know exactly where you are referring to. I used to live by Soundview and Circuit Housing. I lived at University Avenue in Co-op City. Haven't been there in over for a while. Yeah, New York is very different. So Upon the last time I was in New York, and that's why I'm raising funds here too, y'all, because I want to go visit my friend's daughter that passed away for one, and then two, more importantly, I got somewhere to go for Thanksgiving. I want to be there. So if you guys would kindly $ STRINGERVELL 80 is in the description box. There's also a comment that's written down below here. I wish I could find out the way to pin these comments because I damn sure would do it. And I can't do it. I don't know why. Yeah, the only thing that happens is the bad things. Am I open to all races? I have been. I've dated a girl from Afula, Israel that I was very much in love with. Her name was Adi David. We was in love with each other. She was half Turkish and she was Jewish by denomination. I've been with a Haitian woman. I've been with a German woman before. New York, you meet everybody. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think. Um, I tend to work out with Italian girls a lot. I don't know what that little synergy is with us, but especially Italian girls from like Jersey or Brooklyn. I get along with them real good. You know. We're here in in New England. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I have that hasn't been the that hasn't been. I get you guys hit those thumbs up buttons if you can too. And guys, if somebody can just type my cash app in there again, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. Um, I have not had that experience. My experience has been very different since I've been back here in New England. If you want to say from New York, New York. If you don't know, New York and New England are very different. They're very different in subtle ways. The most would be geography. The geography is different. Where Connecticut is made up of counties and municipalities, New York is made up of, you could call it municipalities, but you're calling them zones rather, where you have Brooklyn and then you'll have East New York and then you'll have, Tompkins area, Mount Basin, what's another place? Coney Island, that's still Brooklyn, Did you say oopty doopty? Yeah, I did say that. But yeah, I think my experience has been different. So there's different places you can live in Connecticut. It just happens in particular where I'm at. It's a smaller area. Actually, where I'm at right now is this exact imagery I'm giving you of that whole thing. This is like there are many counties and there's many municipalities. I'm in the same county right now, but I'm in a different municipality. I grew up with actress Villa. Oh my God, she is so beautiful. I grew up with actress, but I know exactly who she is. You know what she was in Quentin Tarantino's Death Race, and that was with Jesus Christ, who was that with Rosario Dawson. It was a part of the two feature that Quentin Tarantino and Robin Rodriguez did. Yes. Oh my God, yo, let me tell you something, right? When she did that dance in the freaking what's her name? I think she was dancing to the Spinners. There's 10 women to every man. You need to be more social. Maybe that is the case. I don't know, dude, but I'm not getting it, so I don't know. Maybe you're right. But let me tell you guys, back to that. So there is a like, I think it's towards maybe the middle of the story because it's before it makes a segue into the next character. So let's say like the middle of the movie, right? So in this part of the movie, Vanessa, they made a bet with her. They said whoever recites some type of poem or something like that, she has to answer and give the person a lap dance, right? So if they guess who she is. So she ended up having to give Kurt Russell a lap dance. All right? A lot of y'all ain't gonna know who Kurt Russell is. I barely know who Kurt Russell is myself, but Kurt Russell was dope at one time, all right? He was in a lot of movies. So she gives him a lap dance, and they played this Down in Mexico by the Spinners. If you never heard the song, go catch it. It's called Down in Mexico by the Spinners. And she gives him one of the best lap dances I've ever seen in movie cinema history. I don't think the only person that can that was one of the best lap dances in cinematic history. But not only to mention that, Vanessa Falito, oh my God, like her lips, her eyes, everything. She's she's blood. She's definitely a Brooklyn girl. Definitely a Brooklyn girl. I will say that in all sorts. I think she's listening to it, and she's like half Italian and half Puerto Rican or something like that. It's one of the two. Oh, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, she loved the Wu-Tang Clan. Are you still in touch with her? That would be interesting if you were. You are. Oh my God, could you hook us up? Please hook us up. Jesus Christ. No, not anymore. Oh, I thought you said yes, you are. Oh, I was going to say, oh my God. She is freaking hot. I've never seen her in anything else. I gotta look up and look up her movie and see if she's in, see if she's in anything recently. I haven't seen her in anything recently. I really haven't. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that Cash App too, please. Um, I haven't seen Vanessa Ferlito in nothing since then, but I don't care. I still date her. And you're a 20 men for every 20 minutes. That's where I want to go. Thank you, Star Pepper. That's where I want to go. Yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to go farm. Y'all see it? You can deal with. I want to go farm. I want to go farm. That's how I was. That's how I said in the island. We're going farm. Dead serious. I got friends in France, and I got friends in England, and I got friends in Germany. That's the crazy thing. Yeah, I know I do. I know I do. My life would be so much easier. Like I was trying to tell everybody before, women are inspiration. Women serve as a muse for men. Like no matter what your belief system is, because I think it was Christy O, she was asking me, she somehow or another thought that I didn't believe in God. Christy, I believe in God. Look at me, I believe in God. Whiffle, dude. No, seriously, I believe in God. Um, I don't believe in people's dictation of God, specifically if it doesn't adhere to my belief system. Does that make sense? So if it's not condescendant or cohesive to my currently standing process, then that's why a lot of reasons I will be like that. That's why I said it's great people getting on here and being like, well, the Lord gonna bless you and da when I do all that. Be philanthropic and be good people and hit that freaking what's her name. Because if Tasha K can make all the money she made and she's already on, that makes no sense to me. It's something in the segue in between here, and I don't know exactly what it is, but whatever it is, there's something that's missing or you guys are missing from me. And I want to get it. I want to make sure that not only I deliver it to you from now on for all the viewers that I do have and all that stuff, but I want to make sure I give you something that you can enjoy and take along with you and learn something from. So that's why, I said, this is my job. This is what I do. I'm a full-time vlogger, so donations is how I make my money. So $STRINGERBELL80. And I want to read some of the stuff. Bars, social media club, what's the deal? You're not a bad looking guy. Well, there aren't any bars open really right now, Ken. Most of the bars are closed, especially now in Connecticut. We rolled back the opening process. So now bars are okay, so they're supposed to be closed by 10, right? But if you have a bar restaurant, like my friend, she had a bar restaurant before, so I kind of know it. You're gonna probably try to start breaking down around about 8:30, 8:45-ish, somewhere around there, so you can make sure get everybody out. Because technically, statewide, I guess you have to be closed by 10. You can't close at 10 and then have breakdown time. I guess, or the assumption that most people believe, but where I'm at in the town I'm at, it's most of the downtown area was dependent on bars and restaurants for the most part. And there's no flagship stores downtown. There's no Dunkin' Donuts. There's no Starbucks. So get that all out of your mind. But imagine Chelsea, or imagine 14th Street without any Dwayne Reeds or anything like that. And that's what you get. So it's like all those things are closed down right now. There's like maybe 2 or 3 bars there that's open or whatever. But I don't have money to go to bars. You know what I mean? Why do you think I got my cash up there? As a matter of fact, guys, $STRINGERBELL80. That's Stringerbell80. Please donate to that if you can. I'm trying to get somewhere for freaking Thanksgiving, man. And to go see a friend. Jesus Christ, man. Well, thank you very much, though. Get you a woman that isn't self-centered, who will love you for you. I haven't found that yet. I haven't found that yet. And another problem I have is I don't have any kids. You know, I seem to attract. I'll even go in on that a little bit. Thank you, Star Pepper. I appreciate it. Look me up. I'm here. Just let me know. My other friend, she came from England to visit me right before this started. My friend Gina, I miss her so bad. That's my buddy right there. I didn't get to spend the time I wanted to with her, but I got to spend ample enough time. We had dinner, we had drinks the first night, but I wish I would have got to spend more time with her. But she was a really really good woman. Wow, single guy, no kids, great. Yeah, you would think so, man, but it doesn't equate to it like that. You know, I got a screwed up situation right now. You know, so I'm trying to work my way through it. The Cash App donation thing, me going live, is where I put in my work. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, I'm very confident. I mean, I spent a lot of my time in a position where I could call some shots. I wasn't a boss, but at the same time, you know, I was a segue for making a lot of things happen for a lot of people based off the people I know and the situation I was in. You know, he said, "Drink water at the bar." Yeah, I know what you said. Next time, God's gracious, give what's going on, yo. Nietzsche said, "Yes, Cash App is a band-aid. Holla at these women. Cash App is a band-aid. Holla at these women." No, I'm not here to use anybody. I don't want to use anybody. If anybody donates anything to me, they donate it graciously out of their heart because they want to see me do better. But I'm definitely not here to lose no women. When I first started this, I had women contact me talking about, yo, you can move in with me and all that. I said, Mom, I'm not with that. You know, I'm a very humble dude. I ain't hitting no chicks off of this. You know, like I've not had sex with no woman based off of this and nothing like that. I'm very laid back. I'm a Taurus, so I'm very laid back. I'm cool. You know, but when I do what I do, or whatever, it's very overwhelming for some women, and some women don't know how to deal with that. You know, and so it is what it is. But I'm a good dude, man. I'm a very good dude, man. But I hear what you're saying. Cash App is a band-aid. It's not a band-aid for me. It's a way out of my situation. So guys, if you would, $ STRINGERBELL 80. I would appreciate all donations, and please write that in the description box if you guys could. I mean, the comment section. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I don't see anything wrong with having per se donate to you, but I do see a problem if you're trying to say like, hey, move in with one or something like that. I think that's some go-to stuff. That's not for me. I'm not trying to move like that. Oh, these chicks throw these meals, throw themselves at these men. I don't have that happening for me. I don't have that happening for me. I think some people think that I do, but I really actually don't. But I get your point though. That's smart. Oh my God, why I like you. You remind me of a younger version of my dad. He was a Taurus, and I am too. Yeah, yeah, I'm a Taurus. That's exactly how I am, man. Yeah. I no, I haven't had any woman. It's a lot of variables with me, man. I can go into that. I think, and I go back into Jaguar and all that stuff in a minute. I think it's the way I look, the way I talk. It's a couple of things. I don't know. Maybe it might even be initially what I go after or chase after or something like that. You know, men, we are prompted to a lot of times look at women's physical features and things like that as such a matter in a sexual way. Of course, we're men. And innately, as a species of mammal, that's what we're destined to do, you know, biologically, you know. Now, moderately in society, that's a different question. That's smart. Oh my God, well, I like you. Very well. Thank you very much. Sometimes you got to use each other to pull each other up. I would hope they would do that, man. And like I said, my Cash App is $STRINGERBELL 80. And guys, please hit those like buttons. I need some more likes. The more you like, the more this turns into circulation. So even if you don't donate, still some people, it'll circulate to people that could and can, you know, and I appreciate it. So if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button for me. And Cash App is $STRINGERBELL 80. There's this like hindrance for me, and I think the hindrance is more so by acts, you know, like women don't judge a guy for being for being held. They were willing to assist. It's in their name. No, actually, no. I haven't had that happen at all. I haven't had that happen at all. That's exactly what I was going to go to my way I look. See, like the situation I'm in and the way I look. Um, I think to some women it's like, okay, as soon as you get on his feet, he's gone. As soon as he get on his feet, he's gone. So it's not in the woman's best interest to see me come up. It's in the woman's best interest to keep me down. You understand? So no, I can't do that one. I'm very independent when it comes to that fashion. Always have been. Always have my own cribs. Always have my own addresses. Everything like that. So I've never wanted to live with no chick. You understand what I'm saying? I've lived with a chick 3 times in my life. First time I ended up in a condo a month later. Second time was because I was in love. First time was second time was because I moved out and I was moving to another place. First time was because I was in love, and I say the third time was because I was in love with somebody. And those were the only times. Those were the only times in my life. One address was for 10 years, another address was for damn near 8. And women definitely do, man. They definitely do that. This is the Jaguar, Carolyn Hopkins, but how you doing? Nice to see that you tuned in. We were just sitting here talking about Jaguar, though. We were talking about how a lot of people are trying to condemn her, specifically Tasha K, and the effort she put forth to try to condemn Jaguar Wright made Jaguar Wright look like she was nothing. So if you want to chime in and you got anything to say, go ahead. 4 times should be for business purposes. What's the 4 times? 4 times should be for business purposes. Say that again for me, Ken. I think I got what you're saying, but I don't want to make an assumption. You know what I mean, bro? But Jaguar, like I said, in the situation she had with Tasha K, makes me raise the eyebrow once again and say to you, why is it that already opulent or already on black YouTubers, Latin YouTubers alike, can get donations so quickly and become so opulent, don't give anything back, don't try to help anybody back or anything? Young man sent me a $20 cash out when I got off last night. The night before last. And he sent his email in the cash app, and I sent him an email right back. Even though it's in the video section, I'm gonna upload it again. But it's former FORMERBBE at yahoo.com. Again, that's former FORMERBBE at yahoo.com. I tried to make it as simple as I could, so if you guys want to get in contact with me or whatever, but I sent that young man an email back. And so it's mdad40. If you're on here, make sure you contact me back, man, whatever you wanted. I can try to answer for you. Jag is a Taurus as well. She's very well. Yeah, Jag's a Taurus as well. I'm a Taurus too. People have asked me why I haven't reached out to Jaguar and tried to interview her or whatever. And if you're just tuning in, please hit that like button if you can. It's very important y'all hit that like button. It keeps me in circulation. So if you could, please hit that like button. And also feel free to donate to Stringer Bell 80 Cash App. One of the things I think that makes Jaguar more unique than anything right now at this particular point is the fact that Jaguar does not have to lie. Oh, you're a Taurus too. That's what's up, Destiny. Jaguar doesn't have to lie. She already had the popularity, so she didn't have to lie. She wasn't in the position she had to lie. Jaguar hasn't been denounced by anyone except for slightly Jill Scott. And who cares what Jill Scott has to say? Like, Jill Scott has already produced some irreparable behavior already previously, so it's like, why are you worried about it? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Including getting pregnant by her drummer, I believe it was. That was a great move there. Yeah, definitely, guys, hit those like buttons for me or whatever. If I had a woman, I would hope that my woman would have some of the characteristics of a smart woman. That's what I need in my life. I need a smart woman in my life. I don't need a woman that needs to be taken care of. I need a woman that's already like almost established, because I need to get reestablished. And that reestablishment is going to take like a year for me. I know it is. and I'm prepared to do it, and I've done it before, and it's worked out this perfectly, and everything that I set out to get, I got. This economy though, and the former economy I'm used to in New York don't exist anymore. It won't exist for me out here. Um, the closer you get to New York City, and the closer you get to where I was at, yeah, it will exist. But this out here, this is high school money. They're paying these guys out here $12 an hour when they're walking with their chest poked out because it's the biggest thing they ever seen in their life. Um, Minimum in New York, well, our minimum wage is $15, and we're talking 25 to 40 something dollars for other jobs. So Jill is cut like that. I don't know. Jill Scott. I don't know. Like, y'all want to hear some eerie shit? Okay, I talk about my ex sometimes. My ex actually looked like Jill Scott. Like, it's weird. My ex looked like a cross between an Ethiopian and Jill Scott. It's weird. There are plenty of single women. I don't know where they're. Yeah, it's some good single women. It's some single women out here, but are they for me? You see, like if y'all want to continue that conversation, are they for me? What do I mean by business? Yeah, business purposes. I'm not out to use women, dog. Like that ain't my way. Like, like if any of the women on here want to donate to me, I love that, and I acknowledge them. I say them out. I want to say their names again. Give me 2 seconds here. Because speaking of that, I want to thank Tommy, Prince, and Desiree. I want to thank Tommy, Prince, and Desiree, the only ones that seemingly donated today. Tommy, Prince, and Desiree, thank you very much again. And whoever else, you know what I mean? I would think I want to be around in the circle for it. But, Jill Scott and women like Jill Scott make a lot of men not want to get in relationships. I mean, if you just look at the story of Jill Scott, she's had a very messy relationship history. Like a very messy relationship history. And I don't want to be involved in it. I really don't. I don't want to be involved in anything that's not progressive towards a goal. I have a company now that has a digital imprint, meaning that people can reference it. It has an LLC attached to it. So I am not in any position to start dating some woman that, let's say 20 years from now, depending on the state we get freaking married at, you're able to take half of my assets, including probably get some type of alimony or something out of me if we have kids. All because I chose at one moment to say I don't want to be with you anymore. So we can't move away amicably. We have to now at this point have to duel it out in court. Now we duel it out in court, that's going to cost me a good 60, 70,000 right there probably in the end. If you really got some money. You know what I mean? So, hey, come on, let's stop. And a woman's nature to bring her man up. Humble yourself. Doesn't have to be a say. It is not in a woman's nature to bring a man up. I don't know what part, Ken, that's why I disagree with you at. No, it is not. It is in a woman's nature to shine on Instagram nowadays, bro. All right? It is in a woman's nature to shine in her own narcissism nowadays. It is in a woman's interest to have the best makeup tutorial on TV nowadays. It is a woman's best interest to have the best promo for women's rights that she possibly can nowadays. It is not in a woman's best interest for try to uplift any man nowadays. And if you think so, you are fooling yourself. Just fall down. I challenge you to this. Fall down while you try to act like you the big guy that got all the bread. All right? Spend 5 years doing that and then fall down one time and show and you'll see who that woman really is. I challenge you to that. I raise you one. I raise you one. Fuck around and break your leg, and you've been making millions and millions from one day. I've seen it happen before. They'll leave you. They'll leave you. They'll leave you. Then you'll figure out who was really rocking with you. That was my boo. and then it becomes a question of that. Women are natural nurturers, despite how media tears them down. Women trust confidence, not dollars. I do not agree with that. I think some women might. I don't think that the totality of women do. I would say, I would even go as far as say a bulk of women don't, to be quite honest with you. Majority, you see, you have to do this too regionally. Regional points a factor, geography points into a factor. There's a lot of things that point into a factor. One of the biggest things I think that points into a factor based on where I moved around is geography. You cannot compare a girl in New York to a girl in Miami. You cannot compare a girl in Miami to a girl in LA. You cannot compare a girl in LA to a girl in Texas, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I don't. I've had some beautiful women in my life, Ken. I don't need help with that. I think I'm just more so looking for a woman that more fit me. Does that make sense? I'm looking for something that fits me. I'm not particularly looking for someone that's just out there because they out there, or out there because they got a big butt, or out there because they got a couple dollars in their pocket or whatever. I've dated girls that were lawyers. I've dated girls that were real estate agents. I've dated girls that were insurance claim holders. You name it. I've dated women like that, very good women. Um, and one thing I'll say is, all those women that I've dated, they all have their flaws. I had some of my flaws myself too. And she can't help you out, she's not a good fit for you. Well, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, but I don't want that to be my modus operandi, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not getting with a chick just to, lay up under her or something like that. Even if I am paying bills or whatever, I just don't want that's just me. Speaking from a woman's perspective, Ken, women go by a lot of things, not just the two that you have mentioned. Tiffany, what's your perspective? What do you think? Like, tell me about me, Tiffany. You've been watching me for a while. You've been a subscriber of mine for a while. Tell me what you think about what you see. I'd like to know. I really would. I'd like to hear it from a woman's point of view. And any other women that are on here right now, I just like to hear y'all chime in too and hear what y'all have to say. I do a lot of talking, but I like to hear you guys say what you have to say too. And I see you writing comments and everything like that, so I'll give you a few moments. I'm just giving people a few seconds to write. I think that's fair. So if you're just joining in, make sure you hit that like button. Just giving people a few moments to share if they got any idea, because everybody's typing, so I'm trying to keep up with everybody typing. But just give you guys a moment. And that's $ Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Or you can go to the description box and there's a PayPal link right there. Guys, again, do not donate to GoFundMe. Those guys are, yeah. Women don't really trip off your lack of funds if you can enhance their lives in other ways. You can't. I'm gonna just say I appreciate you, brother, because I know you're a sincere guy. But let me tell you something, Ken. Ken, I've been all across the United States and in this beautiful country, slinging the D, and I've met some beautiful women. Beautiful women. I've always had my own crib. You understand what I'm saying? Always. And I've always had women come stay with me, to include my ex, who lived with me. Subsequently, her moving out, her little piece of added income fell to my demise. I couldn't afford the place anymore by myself. You know what I mean? Her little bit of change equated it out. So I don't think it's best vested for a man to really just throw himself out there and say, yo, I'm gonna do this or whatever, if he does not have any intention. So you should never go moving in with a woman or whatever, if you don't have any intention. That's a big commitment. You understand? And sooner or later, if not within the first month, they're going to expect something from you, as should be. As should be. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do, if you're a real one anyway. So, like I said, I've never been in that situation. I've always had my own. So this is why it's a unique situation for me. Like, I honestly feel like a refugee right now. You know what I'm saying? Coming back from New York. I feel like a refugee. We were forced out of there, you know? I don't believe in that. I think any woman that's ever dated me before will contest to that and tell you the same thing. I've never been into that. That's never really been my thing. But I do know dudes that do that. I know dudes that'll get with chicks because they bomb sneakers. I know dudes that will get with chicks because of whatever reason. I mean, we all know people like that. So if that answers your question. Women don't really trick off the leg. Okay, that's what he wrote right there. Do I think it's a good idea just to add? No, I don't. I think it's a I think it adds to a mantra that girls usually ride on. So I think it's almost like you're giving them ammo, because if they're already priorly saying, yo, this is what the guys do, da 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 da, they get right, they use this up, then boom, they out of there. And then you got another man telling you, yo, you should do it too, then it's kind of like, kind of like reckoning them right. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. But no, I'm not into slinging D for a chick to stay at and all that stuff. Not the one for me. Not at all. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get up off of here. It's been about okay. Well, it's all right. Hold on. I dated men who had money and didn't have money. I've dated men that okay, Tiffany, I got you. And thought it was all they needed to do. As a married woman, I could say I needed that all. I got you. Get out of the single independent mindset, enhance each other's life, then go up from there. This could be a friend for life, non-sexual. I don't want no female friend for life shit. Like if it runs into that, like that's cool, but like I'm not into all that shit. Yeah, I think that's just a false reason for some chick to kind of like, red shirt you. You know what I mean? Like you're here for this individual need. I've seen that before, and I know when it's real. Like I got real homegirls I'm platonic with, but it's for other reasons than that. Like we really like that's my crime, that's my girl. But like I think when you like get forced into that situation, I think it's chuck. I think you're there for some type of like either mental, social, psychological window you are. You the guy to call at 2 or 3 o'clock at night that will never get any of the J from her. You will never become intimate with her, anything like that. And if you do, by the time that it does happen, you will be so old you won't even remember why you liked her in the first place most of the time. Taurus people do not sit around and wait for others. Exactly. Look, she said it before I did. Taurus people do not sit around and wait for others. A partner is great, but when you meet someone with an intention of leering on, then there's only a certain amount of time that can like exactly, and that's what I feel from a lot of chicks. Like, well, I'll meet chicks or whatever. It'll go great 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phone calls or whatever. And then something in the energy, I don't know, like I had one girl, she said, you too perfect. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I just called you every day. Like, what's wrong? I thought you said that's what you wanted. I get confused. In turn, the same thing. I need it for my hobby. I gave in return. Our energies match. That's good. Learn on each other. Don't be afraid of rejection. I have never afraid. You got me mixed up. Ken, listen to me. You got me mixed up with somebody else. I don't know who you got me mixed up with. All right? I don't know what you're talking about right now, but you sounding like you're giving some YouTube theories right now. I know you have. That don't give you no right to tell me how I get the J, brother. All right? I appreciate you, and I know you have. But don't tell me how I lay D or what type of women I can get, because I done had some bad motherfuckers. Got pictures of them. I put a couple of them up. Did you know that Eva Longoria was at my birthday party? Like, did I put that up? I'll put that up for you later, okay? Like, let's not talk about getting women, all right? Like, I'll put that up for you, all right? Like, I appreciate you though, kid. I appreciate you. You're trying to steer my D right now. I'm good with that. I'm just telling you, in the area I'm at, in this particular area I'm at, it is desolate as far as women are concerned. It's most of the girls out here that got 4 or 5 kids or something like that. They dating some dodo or something like that. It is what it is. It's a preference for girls who like mechanics and drug dealers. I don't know. So, it's different from environment out here. Well, while you still attracted, you better hurry. I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope that's the case. I'll be trying to, but I know this much. Whoever I date, they got to be in the age range of around like 29 through 34-ish, 35-ish maybe. Maybe 27 I can go as far. That's as low as I would go though. I don't want no women that's over 40. Like, I don't know. That's just me. Friends to you, girl. Ain't no friends out here, bro. What you talking about friends? These chicks ain't your friend. These chicks are out here to destroy you. This is all about women's rights. It's about the darkening women of our culture, the dark women of our culture, and dark women worldwide. It is all about some. No, I ain't saying it like that. I ain't saying it like that, Beach. I ain't mean it like that. I just mean like a 44-year-old woman can't give me a kid. I don't have no kids. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that I can't have a relationship with a 40-plus-year-old woman or even a 50-plus-year-old woman that may be in, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what she look like. But what I'm saying is, like, realistically, no, not right now, unless it was sexual or something other than that. Yes, I could. I'm good. You can have a baby at 44. It can happen. Most women that are established are 40 plus, bro. No, most women that are established from another generation are. Most women that are established now are actually in the age range of 25 through 35. I think you need to take another look at that. What's going on, Veronica Grayson? I strongly implore you take a look at those demographics. You will see something totally different. In fact, most the ones that you're talking about are the baby boomer generation. You know what I mean? Or experts of that baby boom generation, which are actually 55 and over now. You know what I mean? That Generation X crowd that you're talking about that would be in that 40 plus and young millennials. I mean, old millennials. So it's weird. Generation X is like a weird mix between Gen Xers and the oldest of millennials. You know what I mean? Based on the age range, because the way that some will cap it off, they'll say 1980, but if you were born in 78, 79, and then 80, that means you were 2 years old when they started this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, technically, I was 3 years old when millennials started. You get what I'm saying? So it's depending on your measurement or whatever. I guess I don't know when you started school or whatever, and all these other different variables that don't mean a hint fight for shit. Tiffany, exactly. I remember when someone once said, would you date or marry you? When I thought about it and really understood there was a lot of things I had to work on myself. I don't, we all need to work on things ourselves. I think my problem is I'm too nice. I'm very nice. I'm a Taurus. We're very affectionate. We like to kiss and shit all the time. Taurus like consistency. I'm a very consistent person. If I measure something that's off of consistency in like 2 minutes, I'm like, I'll let you get away with it like 2 or 3 times, but you got to measure your shit out. You can't do it 2 or 3 times each week. You understand what I'm saying? Do it 2 or 3 times like a month or something like that. Because I expect some women to be in their moods and everything like that. I got sisters, so I know. But it's extremes of everything. And I think there's extremes of what men do too. Men do some extremes too. I know some, like one of the big problems they have out here is a lot of men out here, because there's so much little out here, a lot of men out here, they kind of like, compared to Manhattan and compared to either the Bronx or BK, there's not as much opportunity out here as it would be in New York. Does that make sense? And nor would what's the name. And so, how can I say it? A lot of guys out here get cocky over the wrong reasons. Let me put it that way, and they're doing it because the measuring stick that they have to compare it to is very small. You know what I mean? They only have to do it locally around this area. They don't have to do it to the rest of the world, basically. So, what might be big to somebody is a 2004 car or 2012 BMW. There's pictures of me in labs, Mozzie's, and not to be funny, but Jag is not lying. These people act like they're related to these celebrities. Now I want to go on LG from BK Thones. What's going on, BK Tom? Excuse me. We all work in project. We should strive to be better. Jag is not lying. These people. LG from BK Thomas. You from Thomas? You from Tompkins? It sounds like you're from Tompkins and Tompkins Ave. Jag is not lying. These people act like they are related to these celebrities. That is the problem. I like what you said right there. Absolutely. What happens is, like, you get these people living vicariously through the internet. And please hit that like button, guys. And when somebody type in my Cash App down there, $STRINGERBELL80, make sure y'all hit that up. You know what I'm saying? Support that. I need that. Appreciate that. If you don't want to, you can look in the description box. There's also a PayPal link there. Please do not use GoFundMe. They are a bunch of hacks. And hit that like button. I like what this person had to say. Jag is not lying. These people act like as if they know or are related to the celebrities. Absolutely they do. And see, that's the whole, I think that's the difference that me, myself, Jaguar, and a lot of other people have. We actually had the experience being around these people. We actually have lived these lives. I've actually done it. Know that it's done in it. You hear other stars talk about they know me. Other people that have been in the business talk about they know me. So it's no chuck with it. You know what I mean? The problem is the people that are on the internet, like a Tasha K, that are dictating what's going on right now. The problem with mostly with them is Tasha K. If you look back, what was she doing 10 years ago? What was she doing 15 years ago? She wasn't in Miami Memorial Day weekend. She wasn't in LA. She wasn't in freaking DC with us. She wasn't in Texas. I never saw her in any of the stuff in the Hamptons. I've never seen her. You get what I'm saying? So for me, when I hear Tasha K, I'm like, well, who the hell is she? You know, because at one time that's what people would say to me. Well, who the hell is Professional? Who the hell is Davin? Who the hell, you know? It took me a long time to build up trust. It took me a long time to build the relationships I had. Some of the relationships that I knew that I'm now working on within the new standard of the music business, because some of the old players and old stars are leaving. They're getting into other business ventures. They're getting into broader business ventures outside of music, which I did. I took the initiative to do myself almost 8 years ago. You know, I had a plan to get out of music when it came to it. Yeah, TK Kirtland. She's shown the mugs. TK has a pass too. She's shown the mug shots. Yeah, Tasha K. Yeah, she, you know, Tasha K is unique to me because I'm just like, the way she talks, like, I don't know about you guys, the way she talks, she almost sounds like one of those women on the plantation that was in charge of like telling everybody, hey, y'all make sure y'all pound these greens now and make sure that bacon and go down in the basement and get that good stuff. You know, they drinking it good tonight. You know, she seems like one of those types. And it's unfortunate because her voice and her octave in her voice resonate that to the crowds, and she attracts crowds that are attracted to that. And henceforth, that's why we have a problem right now in media, because somewhere somebody in white media decided that they was going to just fuddle the whole floodgates with black programming being ghetto shit. You know, and I'm just sorry, I hate to wake up and tell you, a lot of black people, I would say a good majority of black people don't grow up like that. All Latinos, they do Latinos the same way, you know, and a lot of other minorities the same way too, so it doesn't matter. But the point is, if you're saturating the culture in ghetto shit, whether it's media, the music, the dress, everything, you know, it's for me. I'm just going to say for me. It leads me to bargain and ask a question, you know what I mean? TK has a pass, so she's showing the mugshots. Now, I don't know about the mugshots. I've never seen the mugshots. I just based off of what I saw today. And what I saw today kind of disturbed me. I disturbed me with everything she was saying about Jaguar, of course, but it was the way she was doing it, the intent, the maliciousness, the insidiousness. It was just too much for me. So Tasha K gets a big for me. And Storm Monroe, you used to rock with her, so you know, you still up in the air with me too. But at least Storm Monroe, I can say this. The guy apologized to me. He made a nice video, which he later deleted or whatever, for whatever reasons. I kept mine up, you know. It's at 100,000 views right now. So you guys go right down below and check that one out. But guys, I'm going to hop off of here right now. I just want to say this. While you guys are going out and you're supporting these guys, and you're, Veronica Grayson said, baby boomer here. Well, you guys are going out and you're supporting these guys or whatever, outside of gossiping and rehashing the news that's already out there, what original content are they actually giving you that would invoke you to donate so much money to them? Is it the entertainment? Is it... Because I want to know so I can start doing that. I swear. Guys, I'm trying to get back to NY for Thanksgiving this week, so I'm going to be live going with you, whatever, and moving it and shaking it or whatever. So I'm going to do one in front of Trump Tower again. Hopefully I'll get the chance to do it. Yeah, it's called Trash TV, Salaciousness. Yeah, satire. I'm going to do one more in front of Trump Tower. It'll probably be one of my few of last times going in front of Trump Tower. Well, I won't say that. I will not say that. Because one thing I do admire about the man is his real estate sense. He bought up New York, and we might need to use some of that real estate sense in bringing back New York City, and the tri-state for that matter, because Jersey is in hell and Connecticut is headed into hell too. You know, this is the New York tri-state. Don't you ever forget them. They work together. If you need any hints of that, When this COVID thing came, all three of the governors had to work together on a plan, you know. So, and they're still working on plans together. That's Murphy and, you know, the Trashio and Ned Lamont, who yeah, that fucker. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head up off of here. Cash Cap is STRINGERBELL80. Links are in the description. You don't have to donate now. If you haven't donated now, please donate. I would appreciate it. Or you can hit the PayPal link that's also in the description. I want to tell everybody thank you, and I got a lot of comments here, so y'all give me a minute because I'm scrolling as I'm talking to y'all. Prince Dior, what's going on? Blessings, thank you. Bobby BK, thank you. Tawanda Ingram, thank you. Lanny S, thank you. Reese, what's going on? Love those 7, Melanin Kiss, thank you. Let me see, Christy O, thank you for checking in. Sheila Eccles, thank you for checking in. Chris Caprano, thank you for checking in. C. Coles, thank you for checking in. Marquis Farmer, thank you for checking in. Let's see here, that's Marquise again. Queen Lexi, thank you for checking in. Let me see who else is here. Queen Lexi. Loyalty Sterling, what's going on? Thank you for checking in. Loyalty Sterling, send me some love emojis. I appreciate that. Let me see who else is in here. Sheila, Mizrael 61, what's going on? Mizrael 61 again. Yes, he was arrested. Yeah, Christopher Williams is the dreaming guy, David the Juggler. Shout out to you, Jamis E, thank you for tuning in. David the Juggler. Deidre Coleman, thank you, I appreciate it. Who else is in? Jeez, Kareem Smith, appreciate you. Giselle again. Christy O again. Oh, let me keep going. I like to shout out everybody all the time, man. I'm just scrolling because there's so many comments in here. Jesus Christ. The Truth Only, shout out to you. I've seen you before. JC, I know who that is. Shout out to JC. Let's see who else is in here. Christy O. Christy O was very engaged today. Thank you. Michelle Michi Booker, that's my girl right there. Ken Nortley, thank you very much, but I appreciate it. Kim Nortley, don't get that wrong. Me and Ken are cool, real cool. Stella Pepper, thank you so much. England on the check-in, I appreciate it, England. Yeah. As soon as things clear up, I got to get my passport at this point. I got 3 different places I can go to. Tiffany Ashley Brown, thank you so much, dog. You are beautiful. Yes, you are. Michelle Michibuka, I said that to her. God's gracious gift, thank you for checking in. Star Pepper again, thank you for checking in. And it's Tiffany, Ken, Destiny Rosby, thank you for checking in, sweetheart. I'm trying to see who else. Jeanette Massley, thank you for checking in. Janice always comes in. I said her name Jeanette. Her name is Janice. She comes in like every now and then. She'll be here and don't say nothing. Veronica, I think I said hello to you. LG from BK, what's going on? I swear you from Tompkins. You sound like that Tompkins talk. RC Mendoza, what's going on? And Tiffany said, I call it trash TV. That's exactly what it is. All right, guys, I will be back later on or whatever. Stay cool, stay thrilled. Guys, the links are in the description. Also, it's $STRINGERBELL80. Also, if you don't want to hit it there, just hit on the PayPal, but do not use that GoFundMe. Please don't use that. I'm taking that down. I got a little situation with them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And the guys, make sure you hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me. Tell your girlfriends about me too, ladies. If you got a man already. All right, guys, I'm out.